man, day 6 was a crazy day. After having some nice burgers with Nathaniel the night before, I set off towards Canso, and in the morning I headed towards a place called Whitehead, and I rounded that tip of Whitehead, and there's all types of breakers and stuff happening, and I just paddled a long Tardius straight over in a straight line to a place called Dover Passage. And I paddled northeast under Raspberry Island and Whale Island, and then a very large and consuming paddle. I paddled all through the lower Canso coastal Barrens Wilderness area, and I was so tired, and I had only paddled around 30 kilometers, so I thought, well, I'm just going to keep on going to a place called Black Duck Cove Provincial Park. Okay, I'm out of Whitehead Harbor. Paddled since 6:16 this morning, and I think it's around 9 o'clock or so. I'm extremely tired. I didn't sleep that well last night. My tent was on a slope. My mattress kept sliding down, and my clothes were wet, and it was uncomfortable, but who cares? It's a nice day. And I know there's a storm coming up that evening around 12, and it's only 3 o'clock, but I was so knackered that I just went into this cove and I headed toward a place called Dover. And so I paddled in, and I saw a house, and I put my kayak up on the beach, and a man saw me, and he came out, and I got out of my kayak and went to him. And anyways, Nick, really nice guy, I asked him, is it okay if I pitch my tent here, or do you know if I was kind of needing an Airbnb at this time. And he said, well, I don't know really, yeah, I do know a guy called Joe, and he's got an Airbnb. Well, they want to start an Airbnb, maybe I can talk to him. So he set me down on his patio and gave me some homemade beef jerky and some water. And after a while, you know, Joe came along and wearing sunglasses and kind of checked me out. And in the end, he said, yeah, you can come and, you know, sleep in my garage. And it's got a TV, and it's got a sofa, and I thought, wow, this sounds great. So anyways, I jumped in my kayak and paddled further down the cove to his house, and yeah, it was a nice garage. But I thought, no, I think I'm gonna have to pitch my tent in here, because the dogs, you know, they were sleeping on the sofa, and thankfully his better half Trina came home and said, no, you can't sleep out here. You know, come on, you can sleep in the house. You can have a bed and a shower. And, you know, I met two nice people, Trina and Joe, and they treated me so nice. In fact, you know, one night her brother is a lobster fisherman, and right down by their house is a small little wharf, and he, you know, parks his boat there. Went down and got seven lobster, and we had a real lobster feed. It was so cool. It's the first time that I've ever been in that type of situation where the boat comes in, you go down to the boat, it's a family-driven business, you get some lobster, you know, and all the preparation, and, you know, putting them in the boiling water, which is kind of maybe a bit cruel, but it tastes so good that I don't mind a bit of cruelty. Yeah, they're just great people. We had great talks in the evening, and they kind of, you know, went about their business. I went about my business, and they drove me around the big metropolis of Canso, which took, you know, a number of hours to see everything. Not really, a couple minutes. But, you know, just Nova Scotian hospitality, and they're just a fun people. And then, you know, the best of all, when I was about to leave, they got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to wish me, you know, good speed. And I needed it, because in just a couple hours after that, I met a good challenge, and but I'm just thankful that people open up their homes and show me hospitality, and you know, that's the way life is. Just be good to those around you, be good to those who come your way, as long as they're not freeloaders and stay there all the time. So, but I did pay for one dinner, so I'm not that much of a freeloader. But they're great, really enjoyed them. On paddling day number 7, I found myself up at 5 o'clock in the morning, ready to embrace another long day. I kayaked some 37 kilometers and kayaked through Gun Cove Island, the Strait of Little Dover Island, and then I ran into some difficulty from the last 2 days of heavy weather and decided to turn back to shore and do a small portage of perhaps 70 meters through the forest. Well, my first portage, you can't see it from here, but around the point it's just crazy, like similar to those waves out there. So I just have to portage it a bit. Then I proceeded towards paddle north of Andrew Island and around the Cape of Canso. Okay, I finally made it around the point of Canso. I'm heading in towards the little village ahead of me. But wow, today was a bit crazy. I had to portage about 50 meters. I came to a point just too crazy. So better safe than sorry. I can say that. But I can say one thing about the Atlantic Ocean and the east coast of Nova Scotia. It is not forgiving. There's just no way you want to take any chances. Just no way. There's a small, nice little strip, little canal underneath the Durrell Island, and when you're finished with that, then you come into Chedabucto Bay. There I met some pretty strong winds, but I made it past Fox Island and all the way into a place called Phillips Harbor. And there I met a very nice lady called Delis, and I asked if I could pitch my tent in her lawn, and she said yes. And once I got it up, then she said, Mark, come in and have some dinner. And she gave me homemade potato salad and some chicken with homemade buns. And then to top it all off, she gave me some tea and some apple cake. And we spent the evening talking, and what a lovely lady. Right out in the middle, 15K crossing. On day 8, I managed to do close to just about 60 kilometers. I began the day by crossing Chedabucto Bay, which took me around 2.5, 3 hours just to get across. Looking at the weather, I saw that it was extremely calm, despite the high winds of the night before. So I just made a beeline straight across the bay to St. Francis Harbor, and from there I proceeded further towards Port Hawkesbury. And when I got to Port Hawkesbury, I met really heavy headwind, but managed to come up to the boat lock. And after I found the phone number and the right VHF channel, I finally got the boat lock keeper to let me through. And I paddled my way into St. George's Bay, hoping, to come all the way to Cribbins beach, which was, definitely a thought that wasn't logical at all because I hadn't measured the distance. I found myself in a place called Bouchet, and I made a nice campsite there, and I slept around nine hours. It was a tremendous long day, but of course it was lovely, just lovely. But my muscles are extremely sore, and the worst thing is my buttocks is just painfully sore. I'm just reminded how important it is to, for example, go on your iPhone, take up Google Earth or whatever you use and just map the distance. I thought that I could get to where I am now in around 2.5 hours. I'm going to cross the St. George's Bay and I started out at 7:30 thinking, I'll probably arrive at Cribbins Beach around, 10 o'clock or so. Well, sorry. I sat in the kayak for 6 hours and paddled 40 kilometers before finally reaching my destination where I am today. It was a beautiful day, but again, my buttocks just, it's so painful. So I had to stretch, sit in my cockpit, lean my back right on the back portion of the kayak and lift up my seat and just totally stretch everything out. I think I had to do this around 10 times. Fortunately, I had some snacks with me because I hadn't eaten breakfast, which is another stupid thing. And some fishermen, they stopped to say hi and asked me if I was lost. And I said, well, I'm not really. I'm going to Cribbins Beach. You know where that is? And they said, yeah, it's over that way. And I, again, kind of miscalculated. So then I had to adjust my route, and which involved a bit more open sea kayaking. But again, the weather conditions were perfect. So I crossed it and found my way to the beach house here. And it's the 9th day, and now I'm going to take a couple of days off just to do stuff that I got to do. When you can't see the truth you surround, follow the light that speaks through your soul. I never thought I'd be washing toilets on my journey. And I don't have to. But at my sister's beach house, the water's super hard. So, the toilets that aren't used for a long time, they get some type of ring around them. The toilets are clean. But I just love getting off that ring. I don't know what it is. I just like seeing it disappear, even though it takes like half an hour scrubbing, and I'm using some type of Sarah Bright or something. It works, so I've got it done. But to me, this is just like life. Sometimes we think we're, built or destined to one thing, but yet in life we got to do a lot of different things, and a lot of different things. They give me pleasure. Not pleasure, that's the wrong word, but fulfillment, just a little fulfillment, just to know that I can get that grimy ring, not grimy, but hard water ring. It can disappear and it looks shiny. So what's the takeaway? What's the takeaway with this? The takeaway is do the little things, just get it done, find satisfaction in it, and just move forward to the next one. And raise money for Doctors Without Borders and Captains Without Borders. Don't forget to donate. Website, mark-earnshaw.ca. Irvin with an E.com donate. That's what I think. Brighten the corner where you are, brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor, you will guide across the bar. Brighten the corner where you are, brighten the corner where you are, brighten the corner where you are. Someone far from harbor you may guide across the bar in Nova Scotia. Brighten the corner where you are.
'Cause life can move faster than your wild heart can catch. When you can't see the truth you surround, follow the light.